What is a high tier human to a low tier god? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about one of the most prevalent fatherless behavior and deadbeat dads of history, Dale, aka low tier god. And that bar was basically taken from TikTok. I don't know who even said that. It's been like, I don't know who's the originator who said, what is a high tier human to a low tier god, said in, TikTok and whatever. But whoever thought of this is modern day Shakespeare. Because how could you even think of a marvelous comparison to a king to a god by, that one Kanye song and Frank Ocean? I forgot the other one. But anyway, for those who don't know who I'm talking about Dale, aka Low Tier God, who's basically I'm gonna say a previous popular YouTuber turned streamer, because I'm pretty sure you know his clips about his clips. What was his one of his clips again? I forgot one of his clips. But anywho, oh, I remember right now. You should off yourself right now. Whatever. If you know, you know basically. But he has like a lot, and I mean a lot of slander for him being like a born from section, is it from section 8, him dressing like he doesn't have fashion, two, also him not being a present father for his daughter and whatever, and him being like 41, being 2 years older than freaking Drake and whatnot. But also there has been like a resurgence of him being like popular again, and him saying talking to Gideon and whatever, because Gideon basically was, I think, trying to humble him and make him aware of his popularity, and him and Gideon telling low tier God to not abuse his influence, like misusing his influence, like that one Kendrick album from To Pimp a Butterfly. But I think Dale himself started discussing things about him being an actual character and actually wanting to be somebody different. Because he himself stated that he didn't get any respect, he was looked down upon, and nobody was actually giving a fuck about him. But then, I don't know his fan base, but his fan base know how to, make things popular, because bro was giving comparisons to Attack on Titan, Death Note, and also what's this? Yeah, that's the only two things that are popping into my head, because there's a lot of edits about him being compared to Light, and him being like a peak character, like peak character development and character arc, and best written character in fiction. Because, bro, like it's actually making me give him like more respect, because the amount of people glazing him and whatnot is actually like phenomenal. Like imagine somebody who has like a crazy background and crazy development to the point where people respect him and look up to him as a content creator rather than somebody different. Because Dale himself, I feel, I mean, Lotia God, sorry, government name, because I'm used to people talking to him in his government name, but Lotia God is actually a representation of what not to do, and don't let power control you or corrupt you. Because I could tell, because him having an interview with Gideon, and I think maybe off stream on his streams, he was talking about how he was disrespected, looked down upon, nobody gave him the time of day, and him having to bow down to people because everybody didn't respect him. And now that he has that respect, he can actually be his authentic self. And that's something that a lot of people who are like low tier God will experience after they gain like success or gain like money. They don't have like the foundation to actually control themselves and control their hubris and their anger and their malice they have for people who look down upon them. Because I can even contest to that, because I have like a lot of people who, not I have, I know a lot of people who will be corrupted by money, fame, and fortune, this, that, and the third. If they get like that level of reaching the heights of a low tier god level of status, because it's easy for people to say, hey, be humble, be grateful for where you are. But there's people like him, like low tier god, who didn't get any respect, who didn't get anything. So I have like a mixed emotion and a mixed reaction to him, because I can see where he's coming from, but I don't see why he let that type of situation he went through to corrupt him to the point where he's having interviews with Gideon about him being a better person, him not trying to misuse his influence and his power that he has. Cause bro is literally a grown ass man. He's literally 41, looking like he's in his early 30s. Bro, like he's in his early 30s, but he's acting like a fucking no. I mean, he's in his early 40s, but he's acting like a fucking grown ass teenager, or basically he's acting immature, which is something that I can contest. That his character development will go crazy, because right now he's one of the best representation of best written character we have right now, because the amount of edits, bro, the amount of edits is freaking crazy. You can see him being compared to a lot of fictional characters, like I mentioned in the beginning, because just wow. It makes me even wonder if he's gonna change, because he himself understands that this is the path he went through, so it's gonna be hard for him to actually pivot from him being he's cocky, overconfident, and let me just say asshole nature, to him being humble and whatever. But only time could tell. But low tier god is one of the best representation of a best written character and character development that we have in our era right now. So this is Matt signing out. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.